Hello, hello. I have my sunglasses on, so I actually cannot see the screen. So bear with me. I am currently driving to a sugaring appointment. If you've never gotten sugared, I cannot recommend it enough. I think I mentioned it a couple videos ago, maybe like the shower routine or something. Yes, I think it was. I get really bad ingrown hairs, like literally everywhere, but especially my underarms. I think it's just like the angle that it's at, and I have lost a substantial amount of weight, and that has caused some like loose skin. So I think it's like the angle plus like I have some loose skin on my arm, and my armpit is just like, no, which is great. So I go and get sugared. I love it. I love the woman that I go to. She's fantastic. But I had tried like the hard waxing before, and it just literally felt like my entire layer of skin was getting ripped off. And I know it's not uncommon for bleeding after you get waxed because like if they pull out the whole follicle or something, but my underarms were like in so much pain. It was like too much blood for my comfort level, and it was just like, damn, this is not meant to be. So I have a friend who, when I lived back in the Bay Area, she lived in San Francisco, and I would like go up and visit my friends in San Francisco pretty much every weekend. And so she recommended this sugaring place that was like in the neighborhood nearby, and I went, and I was like, my life has been changed. Then I started religiously going to her every like 6 weeks or however long it took for my armpit hair to grow out. I have tried doing my upper lip and like my face and stuff, but again, my skin is really sensitive, and I've also tried like the dermaplaning. I've tried a bunch of things like the dry, like when women spray like the dry shampoo on their face and then they like it off. No, my face doesn't like it. I get like a ton of like, essentially I think what it's called is like a folliculitis or something. All I know is I had a friend who was in the military, and he talked about how in the army you had to have your like hair and your facial hair a certain way. But if you had this issue with the beard hair growing in and like having like all these bumps and stuff when it grew in and it was really irritated, you could get like a slip. So you didn't have to do that, and you could have like a teensy bit of facial hair so you weren't constantly shaving it and irritating your face. And that's when I learned that. I was like, oh, well, thank goodness I'm not a man who has to shave my beard, because I think I would have this problem with like my facial hair. My skin is really sensitive, and anything I do to sort of disrupt the natural order of my skin gets big mad. Same with my eyebrows. You've probably seen in some videos, my eyebrows are like pretty wild, and like I let them go for a long time. I basically let them go for, I would say I get my eyebrows done like every 6 months, maybe every 8 months. And I used to just get them threaded. Now I sometimes get them sugared. But yeah, I just have to be really selective about like my hair removal processes. Even just like a regular Bic like razor on my legs, like I will get ingrown hairs and I will get issues if I don't exfoliate a ton and use like soothing products after. It's like a whole thing. And I would love if anyone in the comments has done laser to let me know their experience about laser. I'm very intrigued, but all I hear from people, including the sugaring person that I'm going to today, they're like, you still have to get sugared. You still have to shave. You still have to. Has ever done underarm laser? That would be like what I'm most intrigued to find out about. I am getting my hair dyed. I'm certain that folks have seen in my video, like my temple. Usually when my hair is down, you can't see it. On my temple, I have not quite a lot. I have gray hairs. And it's a lot to me. I'm like barely in my 30s, and I'm like, whoa. Life comes at you fast. That's all I can say. But I have not dyed my hair since I believe January, it's either January 2019 or January 2020. So either way, a long time. So at the very bottom here, there might be some more like dyed hair left, but barely, barely any. And I used to be a bleach blonde. Like I have mentioned, my hair used to feel like hay sitting on my body, and it was super, super long. And so this is my natural color. I've been growing out my natural hair for about 5-ish years. And I'm really excited to get the grays taken care of, get a little bit of a trim. My ends are super dead. So kind of like a prepping for this wedding that I'm in day. I have gotten my Botox. I am now getting sugared, getting my hair done. And then the stuff that's still on the to-do list would be getting my eyebrows done. And oh, and then I also got the facial. Getting my eyebrows done, and what's the other thing that I was just talking about? Oh, I do at home fake tan. It's not a lot. It's just kind of I'm very pale, quite obviously. You all have eyes. And I just do a base layer because I have like quite blue-green veins. And I find them to be like visually distracting in photos when I'm super pale. And the dress that I'm wearing for the wedding, the bridesmaid's dress, has like a halter tie, but it's basically like strapless. So my entire arms will be seen, and I'm like, I need to just even it out a teensy bit. I'm going to London with my sibling for 1 week. The first week of May. I'm so excited. I have never been, so put in your recommendations and all of that, but I'm also doing all of this prep work because I'm also going on an international vacay. So lots of exciting stuff happening, lots of fun content to be happening. I'm obviously still getting my footing on all of this and like managing the cringe of like posting about my life. But the focus today is on these beauty treatments, but I think that's sort of it for now. And I will check in with you after some of my beauty treatments. Hello, we have a little helper here. I am gonna work on my makeup. Can you go over here, please? Come on, over here, please. Thank you. She's so sweet. I love her so much. So I am gonna start doing my makeup for this hair appointment that I have. I personally never feel like less attractive as I do when I'm getting my hair done. So this is how I am gonna attempt to combat it. Okay. One more time. Get it past the earring. I got a message. Great. And as I'm sure you can tell, I am a floor makeup person. Shocking, I know. There's a little one. You can lay down. No, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bonk you. I didn't mean to bonk you. So first up, I'm gonna use this Rhode, thank you, Bindi. The Rhode Barrier Restore Cream. I love it so far. As some of you know, I got the, come over here. Come over here, please. Okay, I have this kind of chaotic angle. I feel like the whole room is like tilted, but this way I can see into the mirror and then you can clearly see what I'm doing. Okay, so we've let that sit for a little bit. You roll up my sleeves, take my jewelry off, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna actually go wet this Beauty Blender. And then I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter and 2 Fair Pale. This is amazing. So I'm gonna go get this wet and then come put this on. Okay, we're back. Let the Beauty Blender sit for a minute or two. hot take, even though this has this applicator, I really try, I have done it in a couple videos where I've done it, just put it directly on my face, but I try not to do that and just put some globs on the back of my hand, which is clean. But it's really hard. It's like so, because it's so annoying when you have to like wash your hands a million times when you do your makeup. I feel like that's such a deterrent to me to do my makeup. So I have some on the back of my hand. I'll let it like warm for a sec. I'm gonna do something just really basic stuff, like probably not do a ton on my forehead because I am obviously gonna get my hair washed. So I know that this like part up here is gonna be at risk for being washed away. So the focus is always sort of more on the nose and then like the under eye for me. I have really pronounced under eye area, which I really didn't like when I was younger. And I was like so self-conscious about my under eyes, and I would like see these women, these girls and women in magazines and be like, why don't I look like them? Why do my eyes do this? Why are they so deep? But I think like a lot of women, and maybe perhaps I'll be more inclusive and say people in general, things that I didn't like about myself when I was younger, I learned to love about myself, because my super pronounced under eye bone, my ocular bone being so deep and my eyes being so deeply set, is something that I got from my paternal grandmother, who is not living. And there's something really sweet when I like got older and was like, you know, I don't love it about myself, but I love that it's a reminder of her. She passed when I was in middle school. So I don't have like a ton of like, I don't have any adult memories, obviously. I still had braces when she passed. So it feels really special to be able to look at myself. And like, I've seen pictures of her when she was my age, when she was just like, when she got married, the wedding pictures, like I have a very pronounced like cheekbone area and this really deep set eye, and it looks exactly like her. And if there's anyone younger than me watching that like doesn't like some feature about themselves, the best piece of advice I could give is to just give it time, and maybe you look like someone that you've lost and your features are a reminder of them. And that can be such like a comforting feeling. It makes me think about her, and like reminisce and all that good stuff. I don't know why I got so like existential so suddenly, but I just wanted to say, if you like struggle with a feature, just be kind to yourself and maybe find ways to like embrace it. But if you want to change it, like also go off and like go do that. I am super pro plastics, body modifications in any manner, and that includes plastic surgery, filler, Botox. If you want to get your tongue split, I think that's wild, but go do it. I think that you deserve to have autonomy over how your body looks. So that's that on that. So we've got the concealer sort of everywhere, but like again is like really condensed in this area. And I leave my nose because I am a bit of a nose rubber, and you just got to accept who you are. And I'm a nose rubber, so it typically just needs more powder than foundation because I'm gonna rub it off anyway. Okay, next up is like glue stick time. So we have these. So I have the Milk Makeup Sculpt Stick in Toasted. And then I have the e.l.f. Monochromatic Multi-Stick. Does it say it on the bottom? Yes, Dazzling Peony. So we'll do this on my cheekbones. Obviously I don't need a lot because my cheeks are really pink even with some concealer on. But I like to like make this, my cheekbones look a little more pronounced, and then just put a little bit of color. Like my natural blushing is a little higher up, and I like to put a little bit like closer to the nose. So I do just dab. It's like, you probably won't be able to barely tell on camera because I'm just such a pink individual. But do that, let it sit for a sec, and then do the sculpt. Make sure I'm in line with where I want to be. Sound effects not required. And then do a little on my nose, on the sides, just a teensy bit. I mean, it looks probably wild on, yeah, it looks wild on camera, but I swear just a teensy bit. And then a little bit on my temple. Like I mentioned, I am like very veiny, so I put a little bit up on the temple to also sort of address that. There you go. And I'll use the back side and blot in everything. Up into the hairline. Yeah, you can really see how pronounced this vein is. Again, just something you gotta live with. That's the way my face looks. Learn to love it. Usually the powder does like a pretty good job of concealing it a bit more. I won't lie, but yeah, it is quite pronounced. So much so that I've had actually only ever men, yeah, you can really see it, yeah, ask me like, oh, do you have a black eye? And I'm like, that would just be you seeing my face without makeup for like the first time. So this is what I actually look like, but you know, whatever, it's fine. So now I'm gonna let this like sort of sit for a moment, and I'm gonna prep to do my eyebrows, a little bit of that purple eyeshadow that I bought, and then my eyelashes, and I'll do something pretty light for that. All right, so now we have this e.l.f. Instant, I can read, Instant Lift Brow Pencil in unknown color. I'm surprised it's not on here. Couldn't tell ya. But I don't go too ham on my brows, and I'll also say like the way that my camera picks up my brows does look different than how they look in real life. So if it looks like very heavy-handed on the camera, I promise I'm not like out of touch with reality. Like they look fine on in real life. And so I'm doing my makeup to do it to exist in the world, not to look good for when I'm filming it. 'Cause like this gap right here that you see is not nearly as pronounced in real life, right? Above the camera is the mirror. So just a tidbit on that. But like I said, I like having thicker brows. They're kind of wily right now because I'm not getting them done until like a few days before I leave for this wedding. So they look super nice and sharp and clean. So I guess my advice there would be like, don't be afraid to look a little rough before a large event, because it's all for like a greater purpose. And as Jenna Marbles would say, eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So if they don't look the same, it's fine. Just move on and keep going. And then brush backwards, just like I was taught on YouTube, probably like 15 years ago. Up and over. And then this side, like doesn't like, this side likes to stand up in the front more and this side doesn't. So again, they're sisters, not twins. So you just make it work. There we go. Again, looks much more sparse on the camera than it does on the mirror. Like this part really looks rough right here. Bugging me out because it looks so fine above. Anyways, I'm done with the eyebrows, and now just some like really quick eyeshadow. If I could find an eyeshadow brush, that would be great. And I don't have one over here. Let me run and come back. I'm back. And so is Mindy. She's sniffing around if you see her. Hello. She's sitting right here, right where all my brushes are. Thank you so much. You're such a good helper. Yeah. Hi, little girl. Here, let me move my stuff so you can be comfy. Move all the stuff over here. Sorry, you can't see any of this, but just making her a little more comfy. Hello, precious baby girl. Hi. Okay, gonna do some eyeshadow. Like I said, I wanted to try purple, but I do have this Makeup Revolution London set. Nope, need a little more light. There we go. And I like the purples in the bottom row here. So we're gonna try one of them and see. Ugh, is this, when did stuff get so hard to open? Okay, there we go. Only, I guess, recently. So I think I'm gonna try this like super dark purple, just like a little bit on the lid, just to see. And these brushes are so old. I got this, I think, my freshman year of college, which would have been 2013. This is my tapered blending. I think that says E40 Sigma brush. I got a whole set for Christmas one year. Absolutely wild. I've had these for so long. But they are fantastic and I love them. Okay, just a little bit. I probably could have washed the brush. Looks like there's some residue from another color, but that's fine. So I'm just very lightly dipping like each side, like push, push. You can kind of see it. And then I'll do the classic tap. That tap was a bit hard. There we go. And I just like go very lightly on the lid. Like I'm not trying to go wild here. But I saw this Instagram video of this creator who did purple eyeshadow and she looked so amazing. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. I think for my eyes, I think have definitely shifted color a little bit. They used to be like quite dark brown and they're a little bit of a lighter brown now. If I was being really generous to myself, I would say like there's a hint of green, but I think that they're, the green-eyed people would disagree. So, I wanted to try out the purple and see what that would do for a brown-eyed person like me. And I'm sure my technique is horrible, but this is the technique that I've built over the years. Oh wow, that one is way more purple. All right, we gotta reel it in here. The purple is like very aggressive looking. Not as aggressive in the mirror as on camera. So if it looks like I'm overdoing it, that is why. I just heard the garage door and thought that the world was ending. Wow, this looks so rough on this camera. It definitely looks a little better, but let's see what I can do blend wise. Okay, we have the final look. Again, I have super hooded eyes, so you like can't really see anything, but that's fine. So then I'm gonna go in now that I feel like everything is kind of settled, and just put some powder on like my T-zone. I use the CC Plus, the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Airbrush Perfecting Powder in Light. This is kind of old. I would love if anyone has any recommendations for a powder. I don't love this one, but I don't hate it either. Kind of just like gets the job done. Here, do a little bit under my eyes now that I've put some eyeshadow on. Just kind of smooths everything out a little bit. Now to my least favorite part, which is the eyelashes. So I have an eyelash curler, and then I'm gonna go in with an actual gift from heaven, the Lancome CILS or Silas, I don't know, Booster XL. It is white. And then after that, I have been trying out this brown mascara. It's by Tower 28 from Sephora and the shade Drift. I don't love the applicator, but I do like the color with my eyes. I've always been told as someone with brown eyes to do this. So we are going to do that. And then I think it's just lips and spray and we're done. Okay. Not perfect, but like I'm not a professional makeup artist, so Who thought it was gonna be perfect? Not me. All right, sorry, that's really hard to talk when I'm doing that part. I got a little bit that I'll have to clean up with a Q-tip. It happens. So I do like this brown, but I don't love the applicator, but I do love the telescopic mascara from L'Oreal. This is in the black, but I think that the brown, maybe someone could correct me, but I think that the brown actually, the only brown they have is waterproof, and I'm not about that life. I'm not about the waterproof mascara life. Again, I know that like this probably looks like it does nothing, but I swear it helps my psyche that I have eyelashes, even though I know that I don't. Yeah, I'm just never gonna have that like really striking look, and like my eyes are definitely not my most prominent feature. I would say I have like a pretty prominent nose. Wow, this switch up is tough. Pretty prominent nose and like pretty prominent cheekbones. I feel like when I'm like getting my eyebrows done or getting Botox or something, like they comment on my cheekbones. Like no one has really ever commented on my eyes. It looks like my battery's about to die. So basically I'm gonna put some setting spray, a little more powder, some setting spray, clean up some of this, and then my lip, which is this is a for Summer Fridays gloss, and I'm good to go.